Hi, my name is Mark, and I have MS. A few days ago, I posted a video showing off my new Rebif injector kit, and I got a lot more views than I expected, which makes me suspect that there are people out there in the cyber world who have either been newly diagnosed or have questions about MS. So I thought I'd make this short video kind of going over what it's like to have MS, what you can expect from MS, and maybe give some advice about how to handle this condition. First, my first bit of advice is don't panic. I know that when I was diagnosed with MS, I went to the internet and read lots of tragic stories and lots of dire consequences about MS, and it really freaked me out. So I'm here to tell you, 10 months after the first diagnosis, that for most people things equalize. Things get back to a type of normal where you can live with the conditions that you have. I know that I was very sick in June. I had eye problems. I was very dizzy. I had extreme pain in my legs, numbness, and 10 months after that relapse, many of those symptoms have diminished. Some have gone away, and the symptoms that I do have now, I kind of learned to live with. Kind of in my life has not got back to where it was, but has got back to a point that I can live life. So that's the first bit of advice. The second part is that you need to find a very good neurologist. This is not something that your general physician can handle, or an internist, or a homeopathic doctor. You need to find a neurologist that specializes in MS. I know many people who want to take a more holistic, naturalistic approach to this condition. And I think that's great. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to take a more holistic, naturalistic approach. I'm trying to eat better and trying to get more exercise. And that has helped my MS. But I think that you have to be honest with your neurologist. Tell your neurologist that you want to see a holistic doctor, that you want to take naturalistic approaches, and work with her on finding ways to treat this condition that way. This is a serious condition, and it needs to be handled, just my opinion, it needs to be handled by a neurologist. So find the best doctors you can, and don't be surprised about how many doctors you see to treat this condition. Physiatrists, ophthalmologists, dietitians. There are a whole host of doctors that go along with MS, but really your neurologist should handle the general condition in and of itself. The third thing, it is hard for people who don't have MS to understand what you're going through. This is really where MS is crappy. It really sucks. In that you look perfectly normal on the outside, but inside your body is going totally crazy. I still have neurogenic pain in my leg, which my leg feels like it's about 10 inches above a barbecue. But if you look at me, I look perfectly normal, but on the inside, I'm suffering from these conditions, right? So, and no one really can understand that. Bosses, family, friends, you look like your old self again, but you're not. And I think the best way to handle it, my advice, is to be very direct and honest, especially with your doctor. Neurologists are people too. They don't understand what you're going through. You know your body best. If something's going wrong, if something's not right, you need to be very direct with your neurologist and say, hey, this is going on. And be stubborn about it. The second thing is there are things that can sideswipe you about MS that you never see coming down the line. One of those things is depression. Most people that I know who have MS also have depression. And MS depression is unlike just kind of run-of-the-mill depression in that it ebbs and flows with how your MS is going. So when you're in an MS relapse, depression can go up, and then when your MS stabilizes and becomes inactive, your MS can go away. The problem is, and it's a very serious condition, is that depression can hit you very suddenly. And I think there's a stigma to depression, and that people with MS don't want to talk about it. But I would treat it just like any other condition. Just be very direct with your neurologist, and let your neurologist treat your depression, and treat the other just like any other condition. And I guess the last thing is that this takes time. With me, I was very motivated to just try to get back to work, try to get back into just leading a normal life again. And I think I really did myself disfavor. It takes time for the medication to work. It takes time for the interferon or the Copaxone to kind of kick in. It can take anywhere from 10 months to a year before that really starts to become effective. Also, you'll be treated for all different types of conditions with all kinds of different types of medication. It takes a while for those medications the dosages to be correct, and for your body to kind of figure out what's going on. It can take a year before really things start to improve. So don't rush things. Don't be disappointed that 3 months you still feel exactly the same as you did when you were diagnosed. It takes time. It takes time for this all to kind of work out. I think MS really puts your whole body and brain into a flux. And it just takes time for everything to even out. So my advice is to really try to find balance in your life, and to find balance with your family, and find balance within yourself, and to know that if you stick with it, and you stick with the medication, and you stick with trying to get yourself physically and mentally fit, that things do improve. So that is my advice. And if you have MS, I wish you the best of luck. And so I hope this helps. Thanks.